Hello everybody. Gage says it's empty. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Today's beer comes from Olde Hickory Brewing. These guys are down in North Carolina. This is the Event Horizon, which is an Imperial Stout. This thing comes in at 8.5%. This was sent to me by my brother Rico. It's strange that I have not seen these beers, and they're done in North Carolina, but yet he can get them up in his neck of the woods, New Jersey, New York area. They may be available here, guys. I just have not seen them. I don't get out to the craft beer store very often anymore. Maybe once every month or two is the only time I go across town to check out what they have. So this is a big beer, and not a huge beer, 8.5%, which is on the lower end of the Imperial Stouts. But this was done and aged, brewed with honey, and aged in bourbon barrels. And the note he sent with this one says 8.5 Imperial Stout brewed with honey and aged in oak bourbon barrels from several bourbon varieties, which is then blended. 50 IBUs. He said he traded for this last month. He said it sold in 4-packs for around $18. Distributed in North Carolina, parts of South Carolina, Virginia, the Roanoke area, and Illinois. The date is on the front label. He said he traded for this. So this may be something that is available here. I'm not sure if it's in this part of Virginia or not. Like I said, I haven't seen it. It's definitely not available in Kroger's or the little craft beer gas stations around here. And I don't get out to the barrel chest very often. So he says the date's on the front label, bottled on December the 7th of 2018. And today we're into March the 4th. So this is a couple of months old. So it still should be very, very tasty. And I'm glad they are putting the bottle on date, and I can see it from here. And the ABV is on there. As far as IBUs, we'll run over to Untappd and see if they have that information. They have it at 50 IBUs. He may have told me that. Yes, he did. 50 IBUs. So we got the ABV, the IBUs, and we got the bottled on date. So all three bits of information to make an educated purchase. So I do appreciate them. And I have been down to... don't think I've been to this brewery, but they're down in North Carolina. I don't know if they're in Asheville or exactly where in North Carolina they're at. It may say on the bottle if they're in Asheville. No, they're in Hickory, so I have not been to that brewery. So, but a lot of information on the label here with the bottled on date. Plain to see, been stamped on there in a little white box there. It says bottled on and very easy to read. Not some black ink on a dark brown bottle with a black beer inside of it that you cannot see. And the ABV is written here, and it says 11.75%. So it's a lot bigger than what Beer Advocate's got listed at 8.5%. So this is 11.5%. So evidently they've brewed it several different times and the ABV has changed. Over to Untappd, they also have it at 8.5%. So the ABV is wrong as far as I can tell. Now they may have it listed, so let me do a quick check here for this particular year. Event in 2018. And they do have it. They do have it. We don't have the IBUs for the 2018 edition, but it does have it 7.5%. So a lot of times it changes, guys. When they brew different batches, the AB goes up or down or whatever. Everybody knows that's been drinking craft beer for a while. Different batches, different years have different ABVs. And this one's a lot bigger than an 8.5. It's at 11.75%. Big beer, monster beer as far as I'm concerned. Once you get above 10%, they are big beers. So this would be something you'd want to drink at home. And if you are drinking it by chance somewhere that has it on keg, bar, brew pub, or whatever, make sure you have a designated driver, guys. You do not want to drink one of these and then try to drive, because you may think, oh, I can drive, I'm okay. But you're not okay. You may think you're okay, but the little meter that them police officers are going to hand you to blow in if you go through a road check is going to tell them that you're not okay. Your blood alcohol count is going to be above the limit in this state anyway. So just drink responsibly, guys. If you're going to drink these monster beers out away from home, just make sure you have a designated driver. Don't want you to get hurt or hurt any innocent people, guys. You gotta do that. That's why you see me do all these beers like this here at home. I ain't driving. I just gotta stagger back to the bedroom and fall down. Nobody gets hurt, not even me. So that's all we need to talk about. I've already told you the commercial term says ale brewed with honey and aged in bourbon barrels. We already knew that. So let's get it open and see what we got. A little bit of hiss, a little bit of smoke, and into the glass we go. I'm going to pour this right down the center here, guys, and see what happens. It is pitch black coming out. Looks like used motor oil. Nice khaki colored head on that pour. About a half a finger of head on that pour. Maybe just a little less than that. Over into the light, guys, it is pitch black. There is absolutely no light coming through this beer. Very reminiscent of what a stout usually, not always, but usually looks like. Let's get it to the nose. Rich roasted malt, hints of molasses. A little bit of alcohol on the nose, but it's cold right out of the fridge. That may dissipate a little as it warms up. A little bittersweet chocolate. And the bourbon notes are kind of subdued right now. But that may change when I taste it. Or it change as it warms up to room temperature, which we always let happen. Smells good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. Appreciate it, my brother. Now on the taste, I am getting those bourbon notes. They're there. A little bit of woodiness in there, hints of vanilla, coconut, bourbon. Very pleasant. Very, very pleasant. Just remember, this is a blended beer. So they've used several different barrels and then blended those together to come up with what I'm having here in front of me. So I don't know if they were all bourbon barrels from different distilleries, or they've used some kind of brandy or any other barrels in there. I'm not sure. It doesn't tell me that. It just says ale brewed with honey and aged in bourbon barrels. So maybe all of them have been bourbon barrels, but from different distilleries. Tastes very, very pleasant. Alcohol seems to be very well hidden for 11.75%. A very tasty beer. A great final beer of the evening, which it is for me. Very nice. That is a very nice beer. It just goes to show you, I mean, a lot of these breweries, whether it's a local to you or not, these beers in this style, Imperial Stouts, put in bourbon barrels, gives it that extra little kick, that extra little bourbon notes that, to me, gives more complexity to the beer, more character to the beer. And a lot of people don't like bourbon. They've had an experience in their younger days. They've drank too much bourbon at one night or one time or another, and had stuff come back through their nose on the way back out, and they don't drink bourbon anymore. I've heard that many, many times from a lot of different people. If you overdose on something like that one time, it usually lends to say, I'm not drinking anything with bourbon in it anymore. I just, it's, it all depends on where your palate is and what your past experience has been with these styles of beers or with bourbon in general. So, with that being said, if you like a bourbon barreled Imperial Stout, you probably will like this. So let me sip on this, and it's right out of the fridge, and see what we end up with. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on it for a while now. Not awesome lacing, but nice lacing is left on the glass here. I'm sipping on it, which tells me it's made with quality ingredients. A very pleasant beer. I do love these bourbon barrel Imperial Stouts. The bourbon is there. The notes are there now that it's warmed up a little bit. Caramel, toffee, molasses, bittersweet chocolate, maybe a hint of some dates, plums, or raisins. Very nice beer. Definitely love the bourbon notes I'm getting from this beer. Very, very pleasant. And with the ABV on the bottle and the bottle on date very clearly written on the bottle, very easy to see with the beer still in the bottle, not some black ink on a dark brown bottle with dark black beer in it. I like when it's put on the label like that. Very easy to see. You don't have to jump through hoops to find out where the beer was put in the bottle when the beer was put in there. So very tasty. Final chug. Very, very pleasant. A very nice final beer of the evening for me. Everything that they say the beer is on the label: bourbon barrel, Imperial Stout, bottled on date, ABV, everything is there that you need to make an educated purchase. Very well done on top of that. Not quite to the outstanding world class category, but I do think it's an A beer, guys. That's what I'm going to give it. A95 for me, right down the middle of the A category. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 4.36. Not quite to their A. That's borderline between their A minus and A numbers. And over to Untapped for a final check-in, they have it at 4.25. Again, borderline between their A minus and their A. I'm giving it a solid A because of what I've tasted. And look at that. We're not going to leave that. We don't want to leave any of that in there. Very pleasant, a very tasty beer. Solid A for me, guys. Like I said, 95. I'm giving it a better grade than Untapped and Beer Advocate both. So the bourbon notes are there. The ABV is on the label. The bottled on is on the label and not printed on some dark black ink on a dark brown bottle with a black beer in it, which you cannot see with the beer in the bottle. So 2 big thumbs up to those guys there. And if you say, oh, it's a 10 beer best ever tasted, I wouldn't argue with that. It is very, very tasty beer. So with that being said, if you've had this from Olde Hickory Brewing out of North Carolina, this is their Event Horizon 2018 edition. Let me know what you think, guys. I enjoyed this. Very, very pleasant. So Rico, once again, my brother, I do appreciate it, sir. And you guys, if you've had this, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.